Skye Squad, we are back in the building, baby. We're talking about Andy Cohen giving us a little bit of a tease about something jaw-dropping that's going to happen on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And we got former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Claudia Jordan got some reactions, some pretty strong reactions to that scene from PORSHA's Family Matters this past episode during the big brawl, okay? Where there was a coat rack being waved around, baby. We got to talk about that. Listen, if this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell button. Join the texting community so I can send you a text message as soon as the new video drops, okay? Now, first things first, let's get into the tea from Salt Lake City, okay? Now, we know that the reunion has already filmed because we saw some of those jaw-dropping looks from the reunion yesterday. But apparently, according to Andy Cohen, there is something else that is slated to come out other than Mary not attending that reunion. Oh, yes. So here is what he said on his show, Radio Andy. He says the women saw the remaining 6 or 7 episodes before the reunion, and there's something coming up that is jaw-dropping that no one knows about that will rock the foundation of 2 housewives. He then says, when you see this play out and you realize that this was shown to the women the day before they shot the reunion and they had to deal with it at the reunion, you will be quite engaged, okay? And now he is saying that they will see the jaw-dropping event in an upcoming episode during the trip to Zion National Park, okay? Now, he does go on to talk about, Mary not attending the reunion, but he says that the reunion is still good nonetheless. Now, let's go back and dissect a couple of things, okay? He says, when you see it play out and you realize that this was shown to the women the day before they shot the reunion and they had to deal with it at the reunion, you will be quite engaged. This is very interesting to me because it makes me wonder exactly what it was. Was it something that one of the husbands said, or was it something that, what could it be? Because it almost makes it seem like they didn't know during the show that it was happening. So that's going to be very interesting. And one has to also wonder if Mary saw something in the 6 or 7 episodes that also led her to say, you know what? Y'all not going to do this to me. Not on my watch. Not for this $18,000. Nope, you won't get me. I'm going to sit my butt back up in my closet filled with Chanel, drip, and Dolce & Gabbana. I'm not going to be participating in any of this. Is that what happened? One has to wonder, okay? One has to wonder. So apparently we will be getting this information coming up in the next maybe 2 or 3 episodes, I would say, because the reunion filmed a couple of weeks ago. That means that these episodes must be upon us because we know that they are headed to Zion in this week's episode. Okay, so who knows? Who knows? But I'm excited. My eyes and my ears will be tuned in to the TV. And we're going to talk about it on this channel in our recaps. Okay. Now, let's shift on over to PORSHA Williams, the altercation that she had with Dennis McKinley, Mama Gina, and the camera folks waving the coat rack, tossing the plates, all of that. Because the host of Fox Soul's TGIF, they had some things to say about it. Now, why are we talking about this on this particular show? Number one, I am a huge fan of TGIF, obviously. Number two, Claudia Jordan is a former star from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So she is often called to comment on these shows, not only because she is a former castmate, but also because that is her job, okay? So as you guys can see here, and I want to give a shout out to that first story was from Reality Blurb. They happened to capture that information. The link will be placed in the description of this video. And this information actually was spotted by urbanbellmag.com. So I wanted to give shout outs to the sources who had actually also put this information out. And then you can actually watch the video, which I will also place in the link in the description for you as well. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Okay, so they had then seen the episode as well, down to the Fox Soul. Okay, and they had some comments on it just like the rest of us did. Okay. And one of the things that Claudia said, and again, Claudia has worked with PORSHA in numerous capacities, not only on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but also doing radio. They had a little bit of, time to work together. Not a lot, but a little, okay? Claudia said this: with the other ladies, we could always say, oh, it was Kenya, she was provoked. And with the other girl, her friend, oh, she was drunk. Then with Cynthia, oh, it was editing. It's always someone else's fault. When is it your fault? You're lunging at your child's daddy's mom, he reacts. I didn't see him put his hands on you, and it's always someone else's fault. At some point, you have got to say, I need to chill the heck out. This is her fourth altercation that we know about, and trust me, there's more. What other altercations do we not know about? That's what I'm asking right now. Anyway, she then continued on and said, Porsha Williams, we don't rock with each other. I'm just doing my job here. But you are messing up a bag. You're going to be another one to fumble an amazing bag. You have everything for you. You're quitting all your jobs to do this show. You put all your eggs in one basket, and it's very trashy. You fight everybody. Who's next? Now, she goes on to say, she says, I think they're both so thirsty and desperate for the attention, for the constant feeding of the ego, that they'll both do anything to stay in the headlines. Him getting a tattoo on his wide back or his shoulder, wherever it was, her marrying this guy that had 3 other failed marriages, and so quickly. It's obvious that there are still some feelings for Dennis. You won't give back his robe. You don't want him to bring a date, and these emotions she's showing for him, I think she should have just worked on that first before going on television and been solid with her man. I mean, I gotta tell you the truth. There's a lot of what Claudia was saying that I absolutely agree with. And based on the comments from our recaps of the shows and everything that I'm looking at on social media, you guys out there seem to agree with her as well. There are definitely certain aspects of what we are seeing on social media that do come across as a little bit, attention seeking. So for me, as someone who absolutely adores Porsha, this show to me and this whole situation with Simon does not seem to be the best look. But listen, if they're happy, right? But what we're seeing on this show almost comes in direct conflict with this whole narrative that they are this happy couple. Because basically from what we see, it looks as though she is still hanging on to Dennis McKinley in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, all of these emotions that are coming out as he's bringing a date or rehashing stuff from their past, they wouldn't have that big of an effect on her if she was completely over him. And that should be a red flag to Simon as well, that this is a situation that she's not over. But similarly, it could have been a red flag to Porsha that the man was still married by the time they got together. So I don't know, y'all. It's interesting. And I absolutely love seeing the commentary from people like Claudia Jordan and people who have actually been on this show before, because they also have a clue as to the inner workings of how Real Housewives of Atlanta, housewives in general, and TV shows work. So they can actually give you the real on how these things work behind the scenes as well. So that's the news for today, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about these stories down in the comment section down below. I'm very interested in hearing how you guys feel about this, especially with Claudia reacting to it as a former castmate on the show. And also what you guys think went down in Salt Lake City that is so jaw-dropping that Andy is giving us this little bit of tea like this. I'm interested in hearing what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comment section down below, and we will catch you guys in the next video.